Alright. Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Alright, I'll bite. So, Jeepers Creepers 4, or also known as Jeepers Creepers Reborn, is set to come out fall 2021, which I feel like for everybody is probably a pretty huge surprise. I didn't anticipate them even filming one till at least the next year or so. I mean, they must have kept, granted, the last film, they kept the filming pretty under wraps, and it was also in some ways a surprise, but I got this article off of Variety.com, which is cool. I mean, you know, a reliable source. It's on all sorts of different platforms, but I'll go ahead and read the synopsis kind of at least what we're going to be getting into. The film unfolds as the Horror Hound Festival holds its first ever event in Louisiana, where it attracts hundreds of geeks, freaks, and die-hard horror fans far and wide. Among them is fanboy, hate how they use that word, Chase, and his girlfriend Lane, who is forced to come along for the ride, but as the event approaches, Lane begins to experience unexplained premonitions and disturbing visions associated with the town's past, and in particular, local legend / urban myth, the Creeper. As the festival arrives and the blood-soaked entertainment begins, Lane believes that something unearthly has been summoned, and she is at the center of it. Other news that broke along with this synopsis that we're going to be seeing for the film is that former director from the first to the third, Victor Salva, is not going to be involved, which I think for, you know, just about everybody is a pretty good thing, especially with all things considering of his past. That third film, it was a stinker, to say the least. With that being said, and the plot being kind of laid out for this fourth film, what's it mean? What does this mean from now on? With this film, it was filmed back from December to January, and it's scheduled to be released this fall, so they've had a good amount of time to work on it. The one thing I'm worried about is it's gonna be another film like the third, one of those low-budget sci-fi type films where it's no substance, not anything scary. It's just more or less, okay, let's try and get as many people killed in this as we can. We're just gonna throw maybe about like $2 and a can of Coke for the production and special effects, and we'll call it done. I really hope that's not what we're getting, but with all things considered, with this new director that we're getting, and that's his name, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Let's just call him Tim. Okay, Tim has not directed anything that I've heard of, which granted, I haven't seen everything, but it doesn't look like his filmography is really anything to write home about. So I'm more or less going to have my expectations low for this Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which, you know, it's always great whenever horror films, they don't go chronologically anymore. They just have the little surname under them. You know, the worst case I can think of, and this is what I'm worried this franchise is going to become, is like the Leprechaun franchise, where, yeah, in the first two movies, the Creeper obviously has a sense of humor, which is cool. It's kind of like Freddy Krueger in the first Nightmare on Elm Street, where he's got the humor, but he's still, you know, he's scary. The third one, they just made him, I don't know, just kind of a slapstick, really strange, off-putting humor, nothing scary. With all things considered, that film was just shot in daylight. It was lighter in that film than it is in my room right now. I'm just worried that this franchise is going to become, I mean, are we going to get a Jeepers Creepers Back to the Hood, or In the Hood, whatever, Leprechaun, I think it was Leprechaun in the Hood. Apparently, another thing they're saying is that this is going to be the first reboot, kind of reimagining in a trilogy, so there may potentially be a trilogy, which is just bonkers to me. If it was me that was making them, I would just kind of go with the original idea that was thought back for the third one before the third one we got came out, which was just kind of Trish. She was, I don't know, trying to get revenge on the Creeper, and she was going to team up with the cop from the first one, Tubbs, which he was in the third one, but he shit the bed practically. He was just comical, more comical than the Creeper, probably. So this is just me thinking out loud, but what I would hope for in this fourth one is something subtle, something scary. Just based on this plot, it sounds like they're really, you know, allowing themselves to boost up the kill count, which already gives me red flags, but I would love something scary, shot well, like the first two, and just something that has its own, I guess, kind of identity. Nothing that's just like this sci-fi shit that we get, and you just watch it on like a Saturday afternoon, and you're just like, wow, those first two were really good, but this fourth one, and just like the third one, wow. I mean, all I could really hope for, at least, the very least I'm asking, don't shoot it out in the daylight. Don't just turn on the camera. It's about 2 o'clock. Let's start right here. Because that third one, man, I have not watched it in a couple years, but wow. Going from the first film that half of it takes place from dusk till night, in the second one, I really love the color palette of the second one with the oranges in the cornfield, and then at night. That third one just was hard to watch. That's the thing. You think about these A24 films that are, you know, shot on a very minuscule micro budget compared to all these other films, and they look amazing because they take their time and they try and have it shot well. They take time with their story, and that's what I'm hoping at least we can see with this film, is it being shot well and at least a serviceable story. I feel like the bar is set pretty low from what we got on the third film. So, Tim, whatever your name is, ball is in your court. I'm just personally glad that Victor Salva is away from the franchise, because I wasn't really, if there was going to be more films coming out under his name, I wasn't going to support them. But I guess we'll see how it goes in the fall, and whenever it comes out, I'll cover it. And if there's a trailer that drops, which I don't think a trailer ever dropped for the third one, probably because they knew if you saw any of that, you weren't going to tune in. So who's to say? I'll cover it no matter what. So until then, I guess I will see you all then. Special shout out to my buddy, the Robbieverse. I didn't know about this news until he dropped a video a couple days ago, so I'll leave a link to his channel down below, and I'll also leave a link to the article that I referenced in this video down below. So until next time.